gamers, is Zenless Zone Zero really that bad of a game that we have a White Knight M-Tash fighting Bald Man Tectone over VTuber Hex Juice saying the game is good, the game is bad, gaslight, girl queen, pussy boss? That's not what we're talking about today. We're not here to talk about the drama today, but I think what we should talk about is how we should be rating games, how we should be judging games. I'm here with chat over here somewhere, twitch.tv/YouTube. Can't see me. I do stream sometimes. Anyways, we're going to be talking about how we should be rating games, what we should be saying when us as content creators or really anyone is giving like a review on the game overall, and what should be said there, right? Because do I think that Zenless Zone Zero is a good game? Me personally, as of right now, I think it's a pretty good game, but I think people are passing judgment on the game for the entirety of the game way too early versus giving the time and letting the game cook, right? Now, I think it's a completely fair argument to say that the game is not for you or not good and you quit the game and you say the game's ass, but for the early game, right? And I don't think that the early game is there. Me personally, I think the early game is super slow paced, and I think that there is a lot of issues that need to be fixed with the early to even mid game, because me right now, let's hop in the game real quick. I am right now, let's see, I think I am, yeah, I'm about to be in rank level 30 right now. And me personally, I haven't had any challenge of anything in the game right now other than playing mobile. I've played mobile and I've had a couple of different struggles in that mode right there, but that's just kind of to set the stage for the video. How should we be rating games? I think personally that we should be waiting until at least someone gets to the end game to see what the end game is like before we pass judgment on the game as a whole. Now, like I said before, I think our terminology should change from this game is ass to the early game is ass, or this part of the game is ass, or this part of the game is ass, because I don't think this game is complete dog shit as a lot of people are making it out to be, right? Sure, that some people don't like the TV system, sure, some people don't like the combat, sure, some people don't like this, sure, some people don't like that, right? But I do think there's good aspects about the game, and I think that there should be a gray area that we're giving like the game a review, right? I don't think everything is black and white, right? Like the game's not completely ass, nor is the game completely good either, right? I think it sits somewhere in the middle in that gray area, and I just kind of want to talk about my thoughts so far on it. So, as far as, like I said before, right, I personally like the game. I personally like the combat within the game. It's kind of button mashy right now, and I'll get into why I think it's button mashy in a second here, but I think the game's button mashy. But where's my fucking list at? Hold on, before I get into my tangent here, where's my fucking list? I have a list of pros and cons on my piece of paper here. So as far as the pros that I have the game, I think the combat is shallow enough where if you were playing on mobile and you just wanted to get stuff done very, very quickly, I think that is amazing. I think that the rate of which you can complete dailies at is super fast. I can get out of here probably 2 times faster than I can get out of Weathering Waves doing dailies and stuff like that. Also, for me, I can play this game on my Steam Deck. It plays really nice on my Steam Deck. On top of that, I can play this game on mobile really nicely as well. Like I said, it's kind of button mashy. The combat is shallow enough, and I can just kind of speed run through the whole game just by mashing the buttons and going with the flow there. And also, I do like the TV system in some types of game modes, right? I like the TVs when we're doing something like a puzzle or something like that, right? I really like the TVs for that particular game mode. I'll touch more on the TVs on the con section because I do think the TVs are a major con as well. I also think they're really good for Hollow Zero as well. If we go over to I'm not going to go into Hollow Zero right now, but I do like the TVs quite a bit for Hollow Zero as well. But let's go ahead and go into the cons now. The TV systems, right? As we were talking about before, I do like the TV systems in those 2 game modes. I do not like the TV systems for the story commissions. I don't think they're necessary at all to be here. I think alternatively what should be here in place of the TV systems is something like the rally missions, right? I think the rallies are some of my favorite modes to do in this game. You basically go through a stage, you collect chests, you maybe talk to NPCs sometimes. I think that's how the story should be structured. I think the flow would feel a lot better if that were the case, if all the story missions being rally type missions. I think it would feel a lot smoother, and a lot of people would probably get burnt out less than what they are getting burnt out of right now. Number 2, the enemies. Obviously, I'm not ranked 30 right now, but I believe the enemies are way too bullet spongy right now. And on top of that, they don't move enough and they don't deal enough damage. Now, I have ran into a couple events where they do start to deal more damage to you, right? Like I mentioned before, if we go into like the rally events here, the rally bosses do more damage to you, but we haven't gotten to the point in the game yet where I think the enemies are like really doing a lot of damage to you, where you need to swap out, need to do combos, and need to actually utilize full kits of these characters and what they're doing, right? That's another con that I want to make here. I don't think the game fully utilizes the combat depth, because I do think the combat depth in this game is a lot deeper than what you might think. And what I mean by this, guys, is the combat mechanics can get kind of deep. Now, let me try to show you this here. I might scuff this up, but okay, well, I fucked it up. Okay, guys, just give me a second here. I'll get it eventually, right? If you do a correct pattern here, if you swirl your thumbstick, if you're playing on controller, in a circle here, and hit the skill move, she can actually sit her ass on the briefcase and get a quicker shot out. If I can actually do it here, Jesus Christ. Okay, guys, give me a second. We'll be right back. Okay, like this, right? So you can kind of hold it right here and suck all the enemies in towards you and then swap in to get her out in the field here. So you're actually able to get a little bit more damage out this way because you are immediately able to actually pull the enemies in towards you. It's a little bit faster swap time as well. There's also something else you can do with this as well. There's like a lob attack you can do. If you spin right here, she'll fall on her butt. Okay, well, like that. Bam! Look at that. She did a little lob attack there and she did that. Yeah. So there's other combat mechanics that you can actually take use of in the game while you're playing it. But I think the problem with the combat and I guess the enemies in general is right now in the game, they don't really incentivize you to use like hidden mechanics in the game. They don't incentivize you to use additional combos that these characters have because you can just kind of steamroll and take everything. Bam, 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 you know, basic swap, basic swap, and just go through the game like that, right? But who's to say that later on that they don't take more use of these hidden combos in the game and don't make you go more in depth with the combat? This is why I feel like people are judging the game too early, because I feel like a lot of people here are expecting instant gratification with this game, right? A lot of gacha players nowadays expect instant gratification. They expect to be able to do everything that you can do in the game off rip. They don't want you to build up. They don't want you to have any type of, like, I guess, time playing the game to learn new things and new mechanics. They want everything that you can do immediately right out of the gate without waiting down the line and learning more and more about the game, right? And I feel like this is what this game is doing right now. Like I said, I'm not an in-game yet, so I don't know what in-game has to offer, but with how the combat is getting incrementally harder, with me hitting 25, I got a little bit harder. I'm sure when I hit 30, it'll get a little bit harder from that point on as well. I'm sure that they are going to incrementally make me play the game more, or I guess incrementally make me take use of better combat abilities, right? Make me take more use of gauge management. Make me take more use of assist management, because you do have 5 assists. And if the enemy's attack patterns are more frequent, right? If they attack you more, then you are probably going to have to use more of those, meaning you're not going to be able to just spam parry the whole time while you're in a fight. On top of that, there's not really any healing characters in the game, meaning you can get punished more often if you're not playing the game efficiently. That's what I think the game will turn into. But right now, like I said, the combat for me as a pro, as of right now, because it is shallow, I do feel like it is deep enough for the players that want to get deep enough. But the problem is, I feel like the progression might be a little bit too slow to actually get to that point where you actually need to use the deeper combat this game has to offer. One other big gripe with me is disk drive farming. Disk drive farming in this game, this is one of the main complaints I had for Wuthering Waves when I made the video talking about me quitting Wuthering Waves. The disk drive cost is 60. I do not like that the cost is 60, because you can just farm so much less per week when it is 60 versus 40, right? The big pro that Wuthering Waves has here is that you can go out into the open world and farm, right? You can grind out for extra echoes if you wanted to. I do think that is a pretty good system for people that want to go out in the open world and grind, that don't, you know, say they have the standard to do every day, right? They can go and put that grind in every day, get the extra echoes that they want to get. Something like this, that's not the case, because with this, you're having to send 60 every time you want to do something, and on top of that, you're not really getting any rewards back. Now, I understand that there are modes in this game where they allow you to get the duplicate disk drive to, I guess, pop out a disk drive, but that's really not enough, right? I do think the cost of the disk drives should be dropped down from 60 to 40, and that would make it more efficient to farm these things up. But the point is, the cost is less than HSR to get these pieces versus the costs here, right? You get everything from this one thing. You get all 6 pieces. In HSR, you have to farm 2 separate things to get them, which I guess could technically reduce the amount of orange. I don't know. Yeah. There's one quality of life thing that I do like about the farming, like for the abilities and stuff. I do like this feature quite a bit, that it allows you to go in and add extra mobs. It does increase the cost, but it gives you more drops. It means you can do less runs per day to get the same amount of drops if you were to run this every single time. I feel like this is kind of a counter to like HSR's auto system here. Instead of like, you know, going through and autoing 6 runs, here they allow you to do all 6 runs at one time, which I think is pretty efficient. I do like this a lot. I wish, though, they would have this for other sets, like maybe like the gear set, right? Maybe I want to farm more of the gear set. Let me add more enemies to that gear set that I'm farming up and allow me to take use of that while reducing the cost, right? Let me do it 4 times with one run versus doing it 6 times with a higher cost. I don't know. That's my complaint. I don't like the cost of the, I guess, what do you call it? The disk drive system in this game. I think it's actually pretty dog shit ass. And like Copsword brings up too, like the ABCD system, that's just extra farming that you have to do for your characters. Like if we look at here at the like you have ABCDEF, whatever the fuck it's called here, you have to farm these up as well, which are like I guess boss materials. And then on top of that, you have to farm this other one. But I don't think these cost, right? These don't cost anything. The Notorious Hunts, they don't cost anything, but you're limited to how many you can do per week. Also, another thing that I wish was in this game was team presets. Like, I understand they save your presets for some things, but maybe I don't want to bring that team in next time, right? Or maybe that I want to bring a different team into the same event that I'm doing, right? Let me have a team preset. That would be so nice. Just give me a preset team, preset relics, preset disk drives, whatever you want to call it, right? Give me presets. I would really love presets. It's just annoying to go back in and reset your characters every time you want to do an event or something. Please, God, just give me character presets and equipped, go to the next event. Equipped, go to the next event. Let me make a preset for my shock team. Let me make a preset for my ice team. I would really like stuff like that as well. So I guess to cap this whole video off, I wasn't intending on making this like a review video of this game. I was going to wait till 30 to do it. But overall, these are my takes on the game as of right now, as of 29 to whatever, rank 29. And I've enjoyed the game so far. If I were to give the game a rating, it's probably an 8 out of 10 for me. I do enjoy the gameplay, or I guess the ease of gameplay in HSR more than I do in this game, just because HSR is very like casual friendly. I can hit that auto button and it kind of just does everything for me. I really don't have to put much thought into my daily quests in that game. Now maybe that game will get to this point, right? I think this game will get to that point where the dailies are really easy. I'm playing this like a streamer plays it. I'm playing 8 hours a day just trying to grind this game out as much as possible. So yeah, I mean, that's the current state of the game right now. Don't judge games too early. This is my TL29 review of the game. Wait, let the game cook, guys. If the game's not for you, quit it, obviously. If you don't like the game from the get-go, you don't think it's fun, then quit it, right? I do think the combat's pretty fun. I think it's pretty brain rot fun. Flashy colors, cool sounds, bing, 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 and I like that in games, but maybe you don't. Anyways, guys, what are your thoughts on Zenless Zone Zero? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Let me know in the comment section down below. My thoughts are it's a good game, but yeah, maybe you hate it, right? Don't judge a game before it's actually fully out. Don't judge a game before we get to the end game, because it causes controversies like a situation where the community riles up over one thing, everyone gets on a hate train for something, then someone tries to white knight something, and then a bald man comes in and makes an argument about it, and then you destroy friendships that way. Anyways, guys, that's all I have to say for today's video. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye. That video did not go as planned at all.